Hello, fathers and mothers, and welcome to Home Story Cap 18. If you like your Starcraft 2, but you have a crying baby on your arms, well, look no further. This is the Home Story Cap 18, and we have for you today a match from Day 3. It is Harstem versus Elazer. So, welcome here. I didn't see these games. I believe when this game was going on, I was buying diapers, so I didn't see this. Perhaps you wanted to watch this game, but, well, the baby was crying. You needed to take him or her to daycare. Well, this would have been Saturday, so that would have been fairly silly. But one thing or another, would like to watch this game. You can't. You couldn't. And now, you don't really have the option of watching another Starcraft game because it is loud and full of hype. Well, don't worry. I've got you covered. Harstem went 4-3 in his group 2 days prior. And while being a former Home Story Cup winner, it is perhaps better known for having just a lot of fun at Home Story Cup. His opponent, Elazer, did not have his best year in his career. Not quite make it into BlizzCon. Did make it in 2017, so not the greatest, but still a fairly decent year. And making it to these final 2 days in Home Story Cup. So not too shabby, not too shabby. Now Harstem took 4th place in Group A, and Elazer took 3rd, but both of them went 4-3, so fairly decent. Elazer sees what is going on with Harstem, and Harstem doesn't have a clue. No, that's not true. He knows exactly what's going on. 2 lings, 4 lings. Yep, he knows what's going on. Does he know about the 3rd? Knows there's no 3rd. He didn't see a 3rd. He didn't see anything pass by. His patrol area here gave him good vision. But with 2 minutes 40, this isn't a horrible timing. So let's see what Harstem can do. It is at this point in this game that the Protoss is pretty much required to get the Zerg to build not drones, and Harstem is not quite succeeding at that. Did see that 3rd base. Where is your... There you go. Stargate Fly is going to see everything. Harstem been very vocal about Stargate being the way to go on his stream. With the new patch, this was even more of a thing as it was in the old meta, where Stargate versus Zerg was pretty much already a foregone conclusion. So there you go. Gradually to take this down. And a 2nd Stargate. That's true. From the 1 Stargate, you can either vary or you can go into double Stargates, such as Harstem is doing right there. The Oracle in combination with that Phoenix can be very nice. You go to your opponent's mineral line, you come in from an angle where the Explorer doesn't quite have vision, you pick up the Queen so he can't do anything, and then all of this is toast. So, of course, you can also just go in blind like this and get nothing much whatsoever done. Elazer making sure to keep on top of his scouting. And a 3rd base for Harstem. So standard play from both of these players. And Harstem is pooling his additional Phoenixes. Hydrolisk, of course, a pretty standard part of a ZVP play these days. You don't need to know whether it's one base or one Stargate or two Stargate. You don't really care. Whatever is going to come out of the Protoss, Hydralisk are going to be good against it for the next 5 minutes. So here we go, spotted by a bunch of Zerglings, and what did he do? Oh, nothing too much. Making sure he's got the Hydralisk speed, and let's see what we can do. And that is 1, 2 Overlords. There we go, and let's go for a queen. No, Elazer making sure that all of his queens are lined up, and here we go. Alright, that is a lot of Zerglings, and certainly too much for a 1 Zealot to deal with. Harstem excellently doing that off, and oh, that is a little bit too exposed. Zerglings, of course, get far better if you manage to get that surround, as indeed they do. Oracle making killing a fair bit of them, but that is still not the best scenario for Harstem. Did lose it to Phoenix there as well. The third is up. Elazer didn't kill Harstem. Harstem didn't do too much damage. Just getting the 4 Overlords actually now. And picked up a couple of Hydralisk as well while I was distracted with these Zerglings right here. As indeed is, that is not what you want to use your Phoenix energy for. Phoenix speed, now Phoenix. Hydralisk speed, Hydralisk range, and Elazer is looking quite good. Perhaps you should consider doing that. Oh, is a free queen, and there we go. Nice pickup. This is how a couple of Phoenixes can can get horribly murdered. I was going to say something to the effect of accumulate worth. It doesn't appear as though Elazer is terribly interested in letting Harstem start to accumulate worth. Okay, Elazer knows about that stasis trap, and here is far too many Hydralisks for this paltry army of Harstem to hold. None of the shield batteries are done yet. We've just got, oh my god, and that was before we even saw the Bailings. This is a strong push. There's really nothing by Harstem to stop it. And GG. Welcome back, mothers and fathers. Your baby hasn't fallen asleep yet to the sultry sounds of this voice. And rejoice, you will be able to see the second game between Ulash's Elazer and Asterion's Harstem. I actually had to look this up before this started, because 2 days after this tournament, Elazer would leave Q-Lash and join the thing I actually spent time on researching. Aga. It was a team I have never heard of before, and Elazer is their first Starcraft player. But for now, playing for Q-Lash is Elazer. We've got Elazer up 1-0. Harstem going to have start working to do something about this. This is the lower bracket, so whoever loses this is out of the Home Story Cup. Whoever loses this, horrible fate awaits him of being able to drink with no professional consequences, being able to hang out with their friends to their heart's content, not having to prepare for upcoming matches, but being eliminated all the same. Harstem going to see what his opponent is up to. Elazer not known to be very capable of doing early aggression, but this isn't Bly Harstem's facing, so feels confident in scouting now at the 21 ply mark. sees the expansion there, and just going to make sure that he sees any probe moving out to build an early third and or early lings as are being built right now. Let's chase him off. We don't have quite the best position. I do believe this is high ground, so Elazer could continue to get high ground vision from of his opponent. And we get, oh, not chasing it back to base. That we've got adept. Need to see if the third is there. Now Harstem always walks him in and shades out. In contrast to some of the other games, ooh, attempting to body block is Elazer. That was a nice block as well, and Harstem realizes this as he doesn't even try to go in there. But that does mean that Harstem has no information if anything is going here. Doesn't know the drone count, doesn't know if there's a roach warren here. So good block by Elazer right there. Elazer on the other hand is going to scout everything, including the Phoenix that actually does damage. So knows that his opponent is once again going Stargate, although not a great surprise for his opponent. Is he, or is he not, going to go for that double Stargate play he did last time? No, he is not. Ooh, I forgot to check whether he saw that, but I do not believe he did. No. Twilight Council is unscouted, and all the tech trees are available to our Dutch Starcraft player. Only sticking with the one Phoenix. Not going for an Oracle. Just the one Phoenix is fine. Getting that resonating glaives. This is where the strength lies. So it delays your tech quite a bit, but it does mean you can take out this, of course. Forces 1 spore, forces 2 spores, forces 3 spores. Does his own bit of damage and can now easily hunt for stray overlords upon the map. It is a choice a lot of Starcraft players make, and a lot of these players are better than you or I, so let us trust them in their decision making. Ooh, Elazer scouts this, knows just what is coming up, and 11 roaches is going to be are going to be here to catch these adepts, which is a very troubling proposition for Harstem, as roaches are quite adept at dealing with adepts. I have been told that puns are a standard part of casting Starcraft. Alright, this is what adepts are good in now. Being very, very mobile. Shading into one base. Oh, here we go. Maybe a little bit late on the shade. Could have shaded quite a bit earlier. Not going for any of the drones here and cancels the shade. Alright. There you go. Adepts versus roaches. There are enough roaches, or there's enough shade adepts here to make it actually scary for Elazer. And Harstem is going to just take out this third base and be quite happy with that, I believe. He's not going to let this finish. No, he's not. Take out these couple of roaches that spawn from here and get the hell out of Dodge. In the meantime, this Zergling has been chewing away at this wall instead of walking in and seeing what's happening. There's a lot of roaches, which for a unit that's supposed to be very good at dealing with adepts, not dealing terribly well with adepts. Ah, but the numbers are here. There you go. And this is the annoying thing about adepts. Shade them in, and you cannot afford to let them finish. Oh, what is this? What is this? That is probably not what Harstem wanted to do. And now he's going to have to do this. Shade them out and lose quite a bit. So before this shade, we checked the balance, and it was ahead for Harstem. That is to say that there were more roaches killed at adepts, but that has been corrected by that shade. So not at all what Harstem was hoping for. 5 kills on this Phoenix. Very, very nice. And getting ready to receive all of these roaches. No speed yet. No speed on the way. And the first immortal on the way as well. We do have 2 robos, so let's use them. And a laser on 2 bases. So this, oh, no, yeah, well, don't let him in. And now it is the laser who's doing just what Harstem was hoping to do when he was on his opponent's side. And letting his opponent get to the 3rd completely unopposed. Elazer getting those 4 roaches in there, meaning that Harstem would have to respond. And instead, he's now actually going to leave this 1 roach. Which allowed Elazer to move into this base over here and pull his opponent apart. But with an immortal right there, this should be just fine. And Harstem does notice. It's right here. And 16 workers going down. And what is Harstem doing on this side? Well, a ton of economic damage, 39 to 39, and this should be a completely ignored mineral line. One more immortal. Harstem doing his best and should step that down. And we're on 22 to 22, meaning that Harstem is on 43 and Elazer is on 32. Whereas Harstem is done with his... No, he's still there. Oh yeah. 59, 52, and finally cleaning this up after a mutual massacre of worker units. 43 to 24, but Elazer has 70 army damage, whereas his opponent has 24. If Elazer were to get all of his units to combine, especially with a wave of swarm hosts, then Harstem could very well be in a spot of bother. Here we go. Going for that thing, and the loading. He's going straight for that 3rd base, not going for the army, but it looks like he's going to get it anyway, so that is very well worth the timer on the swarm host, as that is all it is. No energy, no life, no mineral cost, just time in order to send these 5 swarm hosts worth of interceptors. Now, little annoying things to spawn it. And now we have a 3 base Elazer, getting the workers back to even. Could maybe redistribute that just a little bit. Are we going to close that door though? He doesn't need to. A void ray. Interesting. Are we building void rays? We are not building additional void rays. We are getting level 1 ground levels, and that is the first of any such upgrade. Alright, let's see what happens here. Void rays, of course, not too shabby as dealing with these locusts. That's what I was thinking of. Foremost can't shoot up, even though those locusts do fly. They only fly for transport. They do not. Nope, that's not gonna go well. Shoot up. 9 workers going down. And a 3rd base re-established for Harstem. Adapt being warped in, and that should be able to do a little bit of additional damage. 4th base going down for Elazer, and a dark shrine. Oh, and an evolution chamber as well. Oh. No, with that transfuse, not going to go in. And what's going to happen here? That does get scouted by that zealot. He's not going to be able to do anything about it, and that is an awful lot of immortals that Harstem is moving away from where those locusts are. Let's see what those locusts are going to do. Oh, they are going to massacre Hydro line. That is not a very happy song, but what's happening on the other side? 8 workers going down for Elazer. 34, 35 to 55. So Elazer currently in the economic lead, and well, mostly still doing fine on the army supply as well. Upgrade wise though, Harstem will be ahead for the next 100 seconds. One Dark Templar. Well, here's the problem of that standard early target detection. And did he get him here in the end? He did not. So this could be very dangerous. Do we have any other mobile detention? We do not. Alright, so we should see how... 5 Dark Templars. That is a lot of Dark Templars. Harstem, pay attention. He does. Alright, very good. What are you guys going to do? You have a plan. Ooh, all of the swarm hosts of Elazer are going to die horrible, messy deaths. Oh, and we're going to illusion our way into trying to get our opponent to attack this. And what are my Dark Templars going to do, Harstem? Elazer doubling down on the swarm host, and that can be very, very nasty to deal with in large numbers. Harstem feeling content to leave his Dark Templar down. Probably he's going to wait for his opponent to move out. And when he does, he's going to move in with this mass of undetectable killers. And 132 armor supply to 77, so quite dangerous for Harstem. And let us see what's going to happen here. Lots of roaches moving and then getting separated from the rest of the army, but there come the locusts, and there are quite a bit of locusts. There are indeed quite a bit of locusts, and this is a very strong push by Elazer. Does get the shield battery, does have the defensive roaches. All of these Dark Templar are being, fairly effective. His home army is just absolutely horrible. Just clean that up. 7 drones down and a hatchery. That is not quite what you want. Gonna get his lost 3 Dark Templars. 2 of them are moving here, and his opponent can't see that little wiggle, and oh, gets a recall off. Very nice. Oh, there goes your Void Ray, and Harstem is in trouble. Most of the swarm hosts, that is to say all of the swarm hosts, have a new bunch of locusts. And what does our Dutch Protoss have? Well, no storms. Oh wait, one of them did have a storm, and now we have Archons. The locusts rounding out and surrounding said Archons, and now there is just a whole bunch of Hydralisks and no Protoss. GG. Welcome back, dads and moms, and other phrases of parenthood that are non-gender binary. Wherever you are, if you're holding a baby, you're hoping they'll go to sleep, but you still want your Starcraft. Welcome, Game 3, on Cerulean Falls of Home Story Cup 18, Day 3, lower bracket, between Kulash, Elazer, and Harstem. Harstem down 2-0. Gonna have to do a reverse sweep 3 games back to back in order to make this work, and his opponent is not going to make it easy for him. Elazer, very good player. Harstem, very good player, and this should be an exciting match. Standard opening on this side, we can expect Harstem to build his natural, build the cybernetics core, build the Stargate. We can expect Elazer to do all of this stuff he has just done. Build 2 Zerglings in order to push off the scouting probe and go into a more interesting standard game. Neither of these players are very much inclined to cheese in this matchup. This is not where I thought this wall-off would go. Just checking if there's no cheeky proxies. If you are interested in cheese, by the way, currently going on, if you're watching this live, Cheeseadelphia, over at the Cheeseadelphia Twitch channel. You'd rather watch the Home Story Cup 18 in this smooth and sultry voice, then welcome. Main welcome of watching this game between these two Starcraft players as they go through the early stages of a PvZ. As I mentioned, the Stargate being built by Harstem. There is the third for Elazer, and just the two Zerglings to deal with any shenanigans of Harstem. Of course, there will also be queens in place, but queens don't kill adapts quite quick enough to not do a lot of damage. So if you were to shade in, Harstem could do quite a bit of damage. But so far, Harstem has been very conservative with the shades, and he is indeed now. Might have just spotted that there was no more drones in gas. I am not entirely certain, just by looking at it, what the vision range is of the new Adept Shade. And I say new because, well, I have kids, and so do you, and I haven't seriously read a patch note in a long time. So this happened sometime after my daughter was born, and it is still new to me. Twilight Council not going for that second Stargate as he did in the second game, but going for that build order he did in the second. I'm sorry, not going for the same build order as the third game. Does scout this, and did he see the robo? Yes, he knows exactly what's going on here. Knows what he can expect from his opponent. And we're going to have once again resonating glaive. So in fact, the exact same build for Harstem. And once again, the Roach Warren from Elazer to deal with it. Harstem may be feeling he could have done a little bit better with that. And I believe he was not wrong. That one shade he let finish, he really shouldn't. Where he went between the main and the natural when there were roaches right there. Is really not a shade he should have finished. So maybe he thinks, well, on Cerulean Falls, if I pay a little bit more attention, perhaps I will be able to do the damage I was hoping for on the previous map. It was Blue Shift, I believe. Many things, and when is Elazer going to spot it? He does see the, well, he should see everything right there. So Elazer knows what's going on, knows he must be building roaches and roaches and roaches and roaches, and we are going to play tag once again. Moving there, ghost in there, and cancel and or not cancel the shade. Here we go. There goes the queen, meaning that the warp prison is completely safe. I should have absolutely no problem warping in additional adepts, and this time Harstem, oh no, Elazer just a little bit slower on the follow-up, knowing that last time he moved a little bit too fast, too far away, and let his opponent work on that third base. So this time, there we go, shading in with just 4 roaches in pursuit. Adepts not great at dealing with roaches, but if you've got however many those are, that should be quite enough. Elazer though, moving in with the rest and try and sandwich Harstem, which he did a fairly good job of. Here we go once again with the shade moving in. Quite a few roaches now, and is Harstem going to finish it? No, going to take that third base. And here we go. Let's see if he considers himself to be successful enough to move back. I believe so. I don't think he's going to let this shade finish. No, he does not. And he moves away this time. Lost a little bit more in the actual attack, but is able to move away with more than he did in his last attack. Elazer with the counter push. 51 army supply, 241. That's not a horrible, weird choice. Not a horrible choice, but this time we already have an immortal waiting for him. And there's the recall because Elazer laid a very nice trap. Alright, what do we have? Oh, we've got some SimCity. Not the game we're playing Starcraft, but nevertheless, a relevant aspect of this game. This is nice as well. You can just move the Phoenix onto one of the roaches and he will follow them anywhere. Roaches do not fire up. Roaches should not be a problem for Phoenixes. And Harstem can see exactly what Elazer is up to and react accordingly. Does move a little bit forward with a couple of those adepts, but not too far behind are the immortals. And there we go. In the meantime, we've got a spire almost done, but not quite. Taking out 4 workers. Being able to move back here. This must be what it is like to play against a Terran. There we go. And where is that spire? That spire is in the main, and we are not building any mutalisks at the moment. Harstem, though, is building a dark shrine. And Elazer may try to do to Harstem what Harstem just did to Elazer and try to pull him apart by going from base to base. This is very much too many roaches to deal with 3 adepts. And let's see if Elazer can take out a couple of probes. He can get 2, he can get 3. Harstem not afraid to just let his workers mine there as he pushes them off. Trying to go for that run by, not going to get it. And let us see where those are. Ooh, that's a warp prism making Elazer keep his mutalisks at home, which means that Harstem can build shield batteries and photon cannons in his main base and restart Phoenix production. Mutalisk, if they are a complete surprise, if your opponent has built 1 Phoenix, as Harstem had, can be a very powerful tool. If your opponent knows you're coming, and can build many more Phoenixes. Phoenixes outrange and outmaneuver mutalisks, and if controlled properly, such as by a professional Starcraft 2 player, you should be absolutely without a chance dead when engaging mutalisks. Oh, very nice pick off by Elazer there, going for that Guardian Shield, very powerful against the mutalisk, where every bounce of the glaive does get reduced by 1, and every additional bounce of the glaive is dependent on the damage of the one before it did. Let us focus right now on Elazer against Harstem. This is a very, very nice attack by Elazer. I didn't think he was going to get it, but he got a very nice round there. Got some bile on him, but this DT, and I'm sure there's a couple more, doing absolute carnage on his opponent. And in the meantime, here is a DT, and here is not a DT. And 18 drones went down for Harstem, where all of this was going down. And we have 25 workers with 54. We do still have a little bit more army supply for Elazer, but a fair bit of that is currently harassing Harstem in the main mineral line, taking down Harstem's worker numbers to a mere double of his Zerg opponent. That rules out any mobile harassment of Elazer, meaning that Harstem is free to focus on the ground army here between the ground entrance and these 3 ground entrances, and Elazer is on the back foot. He's going to get a free little Archon, but it is not enough. GG. Harstem takes the game. Welcome back, parents of future generations of Starcraft players. This is Marsh presenting Game 4 between this player, Harstem, and his opponent, Elazer. Elazer up 2-1. And Harstem doing his darndest to get back, putting one on the board with that last game. Really are doing a best of 5, by the way. Otherwise, this would be a very odd thing. And we've got a little bit of change from Harstem, or at least in wall dynamics. He used to use the entire, or used to use large hit point buildings for the entire wall. Not doing so now, letting a pylon in the wall, which, to be honest, is something you need to do on Dreamcatcher. Does leave you a little bit susceptible to Baneling busts and or other forms of early Zerg aggression. Harstem forcing his opponent to the third base, which would mean that the build order he did on the previous 2 maps might be quite good. Forcing his opponent back and forth between those bases. If there's no good creep connecting it with roaches without speed, is quite a nasty proposition. But I do believe you can wall off the way he normally walls off. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Well, wonders are the minds of professional Starcraft players. I cannot gather them. Still standard opening for both players. Let's see if we can get a drone. Well, you would have been able to take him. 20 hit points versus 30. Oh, with his friend joining soon, I suppose. Not really. Harstem patrolling, making sure no swell of winglings are going to make his way past. And Elazer not even going to, yes he is going to go after that probe. And Harstem pulls on back. Sees the other 2 Zerglings there. And going to make sure that there's not another 12 following them up. And here we go again. Poking with the Adept, as Harstem has done every single time. And again this time. Shading back. Make sure you stay safe, rather than shading in and trying to do some damage. Of course, the more secure option, but it is something he's done consistently in the last 2 games. There's no Stargate or Harstem. This is a first. Now, of course, this means he could get his upgrade here faster and going for Zell legs, which is not actually what that upgrade is called. Oh, and Harstem is going to have his Stalker. No, that is not a fantastic position for... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Harstem messing up a little bit on that wall, letting in 3 Zerglings, and Elazer scouts everything, sees what his opponent is up to. And the only way this could be worse if his opponent built a DT shrine or something like that in the open. The opponent saw him. There goes another probe right there, but no, keeps his Zerglings alive. This is that most annoying part of dealing with it. Harstem knew he wasn't going to die. He also knew exactly how annoying this was going to be. Even manages to make it out. No! Stays inside with 1 Zergling and sees the forge, sees the lack of Dark Templar, High Templar, any sort of Templar. So it tells him it's not a charge lot Argon. And this worked in those 4 charge lot right on top of that. Ooh, of that Overlord. So Elazer sees everything and is able to be perfectly in place. Push off this. War Prism. Alright. Let's see. 8. 8 Zealots. 8 Zealots on the other hand. Oh, and Elazer making sure that those Zealots are going to have to be sacrificed. Because there is no way. Oh. I stand corrected. Whooping in with 21 life is Harstem. And saves 3. Oh, all of the Zealots. 4 of the Zealots, because he did warp in an extra one. 2 Warp Prism. Oh, very nice. Of course, the early army of Zerg fairly immobile, but this Spine Crawler keeping him safe. Zerg base being taken from Harstem. And this is what is so nice. Strike from one corner, strike from another corner. Or do we get our forces together? Do we strike as one? These are your dynamics you can work with. Protoss as Terran as Zerg. Forcing your opponent split up and their army, and if that split isn't good enough, it could be very badly damaged indeed. Pneumatized Carapace. Interesting. Oh. So, oh, very sneaky by Harstem right there, but there are Ravagers here capable of taking down that force field, and Harstem gets on out of there. Once again, keeping Elazer on his toes, but not doing any horrible damage. If we can take out some of these nice juicy overlords. Elazer, aware that his opponent hasn't built a Stargate, can put these out just fine until there are stalkers flying around in these. Oh, can't go to the main. Can't stay there. Oh, can we cancel this? Nope. Elazer is there with his army. Not going to try and bile it. 3 solid bases. Let's see where we are in upgrades. Well, Harstem has some. Not going to have one anytime soon. And Elazer hasn't even built an evolution chamber. This is what I was wondering. With speed, going for some roach drops. Did we get burrow as well? We did not. That would have been a very nice combination. With this, your opponent does not have detection ready there. You can just play whack-a-mole with your roaches. Instead, you don't have to rely on the fact that all the army of Harstem is here, and indeed it should be. Oh, there is a photon cannon. That is good. Harstem needs to deal with this over here, while those roaches are going to try and deal with that cannon, and then with his probes. But this is a defense that Harstem should be just fine in, although this is a very exposed injury right there. And let us see what's happening there. Oh, almost keeping that alive and being able to go to the natural. Here we are once again with those swarm hosts that were so annoying in that second game. How do you want to deal with that? Well, if you drop immortals on top of them, they are quite effective. Harstem cannot afford this right now, as these immortals are going to have to deal with this attack wave. Combining those roaches and those actual physical units with the temporariness of the swarmhost, with those locusts, very good by Elazer. Harstem is going to have to play this well, smart. Good Warp Prism Micro, keeping his immortals alive, keeping his heavy hitters alive. And if only Harstem could drop right on top of these, that would be a very nice thing indeed. There we go. Focus. There we go. And 2 of them go down. Nicely played by Harstem. At the back of this, Elazer can just expand. So, not horrible play from Elazer either. And Harstem juggling with those immortals. And once again, the Dark Templars being brought in. Harstem really needs to take these out, but he's not going to have the chance with the constant attacks of Elazer, and Elazer very smartly, as Harstem tries to drop a couple of zealots on top of them, takes out yet another one at the cost of one zealot, and that is very much worth it. One zealot, 100 minerals, whereas these guys cause quite a bit of gas. 2 upgrades. Alright, let's see. Can we take any more down? Is there anything here that shoots up? No, not really. Oh, that is sad. 3 hit points. 3 hit points. I can take that down. No. And there is going to be another bunch of locusts. But in the meantime, Harstem is also going to go for the attack. Here is that. There are those Dark Templars, and here is a whole mess of locusts. Has just one Colossus going down, and Elazer once again having to deal with that wall. Can't get to the juicy innards of Harstem, as Elazer does deal with this Zealot Templar drop. Here we go. Harstem with some cute immortal drops, being able to chase down those Orpism, no, swarm hosts. I swear I know what these are actually called. I'm a professional. And it looks like Harstem is in a great position to put the scoreboard on 2-2 with 80 army, with Dark Templars, with Immortals, with Archons. He is content to just take out that third base. Elazer, in the meantime, does have a new third base, but also a gold base he's not actually currently using. Oh. Elazer making sure that Harstem can prod him. Oh, did Harstem see that? Did Harstem see all of those drones being transferred? I don't believe he did. Did you see it? Did you see it? Do you see the creep? Yes, there's the creep. There's the creep. Indeed, there it is. No, this would be bad. Oh, this could have been very nice indeed, but now he's cut off Elazer from all of this and should be able to take this down just fine. This should be very nice from Harstem. In the meantime, Elazer has rebuilt some of his swarm host and is going to go push on Harstem's 4th right here. 108 army supply to 137, and these guys who cost a number of army supply, which I'm not quite sure how much, are, well, then army supply if they're not currently being used, and that is a nice yoink right there, although that is also a very nice storm. With those Vipers, you want to be very careful you don't lose your valuable units such as that. Those Colossi, those Immortals. Oh, there goes the beat back. Very nice. Do we still have vision of the Dark Templar? Yes, we do, but now we don't have quite nearly as nasty an army as the Protoss player. And once again, the Locusts are up. So this might very well be the wave of Locusts that breaks Harstem's back as he has to defend this. How many more storms do we have? We have a couple of storms at least. That we can keep off these Hydralisk with very, very nasty upgrades. By now, 3 attack upgrades to 1. And does Harstem still have any more prisms? One is here and the other one's there. So he could poke into his opponent, but he's choosing not to. And let's see what we can do here. Alright. That is not a lot, but not a lot of things that shoot. But there is a storm coming. Elazer pulls back smartly. Here on the other hand is the next bunch of locusts. These are taking out quite a bit. Nice storm once again, but the storm needs to be followed up by some. Oh, and there go those nice yoinks and nice storms. And that, I believe, was the last storm of Harstem, and now it is Hydralisk versus this army of Harstem, and I believe this amount of army supply says that Elazer is in a fantastic position. Harstem's going to have to micro his butt off in order to stay in this tournament. Elazer is on match point and losing one of those immortals that he has had for so long. All of these immortals had this many kills, and Elazer is moving in for the kill. No more immortals. That is not true. There's still another one, and there's an army on the doorstep of Harstem. Harstem making a last defense. None of these High Templars. Oh, they do have Storm actually. Trying to hold on, but there's simply too much of a laser. One more warp in of Zealots, but there go another bunch of Locusts. Harstem taps out. Elazer moves on to the next round with 3-1. Now I hope your baby has gone to bed. I hope you're able to go to put them down. I will see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe.